Hi, everyone. My name is Emily. Thank you so much for joining us today for this Google Analytics presentation. I'm so happy that you're here. We are so pleased to be joined by Louis, who's standing right next to me. Louis is an advocacy team lead for Google Analytics. He's been at Google for 4 years. Many of you may have heard of Louis through his blog, which is louisgray.com. So there's one important thing I want to mention before Louis takes over here, is that if you have questions during the presentation, please write them down. That way, after the workshop concludes, we will be able to answer your question during the Q&A session. So please hold your question until the end, and we'll be happy to answer it after Louis concludes the presentation. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Louis. Please enjoy.
Thank you so much, Emily. Appreciate it. So today we're going to talk about my favorite product here at Google. And I'm not just saying that because I'm on the analytics team. Google Analytics really is about taking the data about your website, your company, and your business and turning it into information that you can use. All of the data, all of the people visiting your site, what they do, where they go, it's about giving you an action that can make a choice that can impact your business in a positive way. So today we're going to talk about setting goals with Google Analytics. It's something simple you can do that can immediately have impact on you. So there's really 4 pieces we're going to talk about in today's workshop. The first, we're going to introduce Google Analytics goals, how to do it, where they take place, and the impact they're going to have. Second, how should they be tracked? What is it you should be looking for? Third, how to create them by just going through the Google Analytics website and setting a new goal. And fourth, most importantly, resources that you can take back with you after this workshop is done, so you can continue to get information from us, from Google Analytics, and talk back to us so we can listen and get better as a product. Let's start at the very beginning, Introduction to Google Analytics Goals. As I mentioned, Google Analytics is a powerful web analytics tool. We take a look at the visitors that come to your website. Where did they come from? Where are they going? How long did they stay on there? And what kind of decisions did they make when they came to your site? We can provide reports, any kind of detailed reports that you set up, showing the information about those individuals as they came through so you can learn what kind of content works best, how you can best structure your website and make decisions. And we can find out the effectiveness of your online and offline marketing campaigns. Marketing, public relations, e-commerce, many different types of industries are relying on Google Analytics to make those calls and really have a dramatic impact. So when we look at analytics, when it comes to data, yes, we're counting a lot of visits. Yes, we're counting a lot of hits and page views. But analytics is not about counting, it's about measuring. And the difference between counting and measuring is giving you something that you can do with that data. And the first thing we're going to talk about measuring today is a goal. And a goal represents a completed activity, which we call a conversion. And these conversions are success for your business. We don't tell you what those successes are, you do. And when you make a decision on what that success looks like, what a conversion looks like, we'll help you make into a goal within Google Analytics. For example, if I have an email newsletter for someone to subscribe to me as a blogger, I might have an email newsletter sign up as a conversion, and I can track who came into my website and how did they sign up to those emails and how many people did that. Or if I run an e-commerce website, I can set it up to find out who's purchased items, how often do they purchase, and how do they get there through GA. And third, time spent on a website. This is a critical piece for people who want to understand that these aren't just one-time visitors to your site who click through and then disappear. How long are they staying on your site? How connected are they to your content? And how valuable is it what you're presenting to the user? So the way that you find this out is through defining those goals. To track the number of conversions, to see the conversion rate, how often do they convert when they come to your page? Is this high enough for you to meet the goals of your business? And to see which marketing campaigns are generating the most conversions. I've spent a lot of time in marketing here in the Valley, and one of the hardest chances that you have is defining to sales or defining to the CEO that what you did had impact. And the good news is with Google Analytics, we can do that. And we can understand not only was marketing a cost center, we can turn you into a profit center by doing the right things and not doing maybe those things that weren't so quite useful. So the first thing, we're going to talk about defining those goals to measure success. There are 2 kinds of goals within Google Analytics, and it's fairly straightforward. Macro goals, which are the big ones. They correspond to the primary objectives to your site. And the micro conversions, micro goals, that correspond to secondary activities. And what that means is that these goals can help you measure the effectiveness of your website and your marketing campaigns. So let's take a look on what could be tracked. First, let's talk about what kind of goals that you can track and how you can set those up. to find those macro and micro conversions. First, what do you want the visitors to do on your website when they get there? It's one thing to have a URL. It's one thing for someone to sign in. But what do they do when they get there? If you're an e-commerce business, you might want them to sign up and have an online order. You might want them to buy and get through the checkout process. So for example, you could have on acquisition side, creating an online account if you want to get new users, new people to sign up and get information about you regularly. What about an inquiry? If someone comes in and says, I want to hear more about you, I want to sign up to your web seminar, you could submit a contact form and have that be tracked. Or on the engagement side, what about signing up for that email newsletter and getting ongoing updates from you throughout the time of your business? You can track what makes sense to you, and we even have it set up, you can do 20 goals per view. It sounds like a lot, but we've had people do all the way up to the top. Here's some examples of those goals from goal types. First is a destination. If a specific location loads on your website, this might be something as simple as a thanks page on your email newsletter. So if somebody goes all the way through that process and the last page loads, you know they would have gotten to it. A duration. If a session lasts a certain amount of time. For example, if I think a valuable user is going to come in and read 2 posts from my blog, and I believe that a post is about 2 to 5 minutes of reading, anybody who's spent about 5 minutes on my site, I know they got to the end of that story, and that's valuable to me. What about the number of pages or screens per visit? We've all talked about bounce rate and somebody coming into your website and seeing 1 page, maybe for a second, maybe a few seconds. But if they're clicking through and they look at 5, 10, even 20 pages on your site, it could mean a couple things. One, either they're highly engaged on your site, or second, maybe more troublesome, they got lost and they didn't know where to go, and maybe you should improve the search on your site. So we really need to understand what makes sense and what kind of data on your site is the information that you need out of Google Analytics. And lastly, an event, the action that defines an event as triggered. And we'll talk about that. It could be something as simple as clicking a video as an event within your site on GA. So this goal type describes the action you're measuring. Again, 4 types: destination, duration, pages and screens per session, and an event. So let's walk through that. Here's an example site from Stasia's Bakery. So Stasia has a site here. Welcome to the site. It has a few pages on it, from the About Us page, the orders, and the gallery. And obviously, you want somebody to come in and make an order. So if you want to create a goal for Anastasia's Bakery, you want to make sure that you understand what it is you want them to do. Do you want them to create an order and leave? Or do you want them to create an order and check out? Do you want them to fill in their credit card information? What is the information that you're looking for and how to get there? So to create this goal within Google Analytics, we're going to talk about how to set that up with that example. You can set up that goal for duration, page views, destinations, or events. So let's go in. Let's sign into google.com/analytics. We've redesigned our homepage, so it may not look the exact way that you see it here, but if you come into google.com/analytics, click the sign in button, and you can get started. Everybody knows the first thing that you do with GA is you take our tracking code. It's simple JavaScript that you can put in the header of any of your web pages, and you put that across your web page in the header of your HTML so that you know that you're getting tracked and every visitor counts. So goal pages have to be tracked with tracking code. Otherwise, we can't tell you if that goal was reached. Without that code, we can't even track the page. So you go into your properties, look for the tracking code, and grab it. As you can see on the right side of this slide, it's just a few lines of code. You copy that code, and either you or your webmaster can put it directly into the header of your page to get started with GA. Once that's done, you kind of set that goal under the view level. Go into your site data, organize under Account, Property, and View, and click on Goals. That's the first step. There's a little flag next to it. It looks like a goal. So you click plus new goal and get started. Now, what type of goal you set, like I've said before, is one of those 4 pieces. And it really comes down to you and what you need for your business. And we've even set this up so you have templates just for yourself. There are templates that are set up for people who've done reservations. You can place an order, to create an account, refer a friend. These are typical things that you'll see throughout marketing or public relations or sales for demand generation. And so we've set this up so that you know how to get started, or you can create your own from scratch if you're somebody who's really familiar with GA and you've done this a lot. So you can start with one of our templates, and today we're going to start easy by measuring the time on site to stasiasbakery.com. So this goal type doesn't actually require special steps. We've already set this up for you, and you're going to know what visitor engagement is there with your website. So you click Custom underneath Goal Setup and select the description and type. In this type, you basically say the duration. So I want a duration of a goal to be anywhere 2 to 5 minutes, and I'll know that the user came in and spent significant time with my site. So you've selected the goal, you choose a description, and in this case, we put in, I think, 10 minutes, click duration, and then hit save to the next step. And you'll get that information set up as a specific goal for a minimum duration. And this will count whether they're there for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or even half an hour. They will have met the goal that you need from your site. The second type of goal you can have is the minimum pages that they viewed. As I said before, if someone comes on your site and they stay there for 10 minutes, and then they go do something else, and then they click on another page, that's not the best visit history that you want. What you want is someone who's come in and they look around quite a bit, or they go directly to the order page if they know what they're coming in to look for. So you can set both of these goals in parallel to get the right answer for you based on the type of business you have. In this case, you look at minimum pages viewed. If you want to set it up so someone has 5 or 10 pages viewed, you just go ahead and click Custom. It doesn't have any special steps. It measures the visual engagement with your site, and select the description. In this case, it's pages. And so you click Pages, say the number that you're looking for, and you go to the next step. In this case, how many pages did they see? 4. 4 is good enough. So you have 4 pages that you're going to see as you sign into the site, and this will be a really active user for you that you can measure for the duration of their visit to Google Analytics. Or a third goal, an email newsletter sign up. If I'm with Stasia's Bakery and I want somebody to continue to get updates from me, if I've got new muffins coming out, new croissants, whatever those new flavors and ingredients are that I want to have out there to my users, I can set it up so they can get contacted by me regularly. It's an opt-in process, so somebody can come in and get the newsletter regularly, and we can set up a Google Analytics tracking code on the back end so that we know that this tracking was completed. So they've gone ahead and filled out this email newsletter and put the tracking code directly on their site on this page. And this measures what we call engagement. In this case, it's newsletter signup. We already have a template for that because newsletters are something very frequently that marketers use across the web in just about every single industry. We select the destination goal type. And the destination in this case is for a newsletter signup. And often when you set up your website, either you've done it or your webmaster's done it, when you click submit, the follow-on page is thank you. Just thank you for signing up for our newsletter. You'll continue to get updates from us once every week, once every month or so. And the easiest option is just to specify that page. You click the thankyou.html and you're good to go. And that means it's a destination. So a newsletter sign up, you hit destination and save it as your next step. And immediately you've got a goal right there in Google Analytics to find out if they've reached that page or not. And it seems like we've gone pretty quick for some of these pieces. So the issue is that with Stasia's Bakery, you've really set up a few things already. You've set up the ability to know how often they come to your site in terms of number of pages they visited. You know how long they've been to your site, and you know if they reached a specified destination URL, in this case, the thanks.html after your newsletter. You can do all these things with GA without a whole lot of hassle. Then you save that goal. So in this case, you put the full URL, so stasiasbakery.com/thanks.html, and that goal is completed. Here's the fourth type of goals that you can set up, and that's tracking an event. Event tracking records interaction with your website elements. And for you, since you know the kind of rich media that you've got within your website, be it a video, be it a download of a PDF, or any other type of file, we can set it up so that Google Analytics knows that that action was taken. If you have a call to action within your site, which gives information about your product, it's kind of an overview or even a welcome from the CEO and detail about your company, you can set that up for Google Analytics to track and make sure that you know that the visitors are finding it and you've gotten value out of the money that you spent to make that media. So when you define an event, you come into Google Analytics and you select the category of that event. It's the name that you supply for the object which you want to track. In this case, bakery video. And you have an action. It's unique to each category. And the label, which is optional, but gives dimensions about that data. In this case, for example, we'll use the category of video. The action is play to start the video. And the label is how to decorate a cake. I know my kids are constantly looking at YouTube watching decorating cake videos, so I'm hoping Stasia's Bakery pulls this off, because I'll probably end up seeing that on my tablet back at home. So in the code example, the event method is actually pretty straightforward. Underscore track event, and in parentheses, you've got category, action, and the option label. And because we specified what that looked like before, in this case, video, play, and how to decorate a cake, the HTML is automatically right there. And you can see it directly on your screen. With the href, onClick, track event, video, play, and how to decorate a cake. Once that data is right within your website, GA is going to know exactly what that event means, and it's going to put that into your goal right within Google Analytics. If this is more complicated or you want to see more about how to do it, go ahead and check out our developer site, and that's at developers.google.com/analytics/devguides, the URL on your screen. When you've done that, you go ahead and hit Custom, enter the name for the event, put the goal details, for example, how often they want to be seen or when they go through and complete the video play, and you hit Save. And this type of event tracking can also be done with e-commerce. E-commerce is a growing industry for Google Analytics as people want to find out how the store layout is working, how often people are coming in, what are the most popular items to browse, and what are the most popular items to purchase. And we'll find out what type of store layout they should do in order to find the right details for the right customer. And so you can track transactional data as somebody says, buy now, and order it and add it to their shopping cart. So this has been a quick run of the Google Analytics goals. We have a lot more resources that you can have even after this workshop is complete. In fact, on the education team, I get the opportunity to update our streams daily. And so that's places like our Analytics Help Center. Every single day, as we go ahead and roll out new options for our products and new features, we update our Help Center articles, where you can come in and find answers that we provided for you to give detailed answers about goals, dimensions, attribution, any piece of Google Analytics that we have. And that's at support.google.com/analytics. Google+, we're updating here regularly every single day, not just information that we create, but information from the best minds in the industry as they tell you not just why Google Analytics, but how to use Google Analytics. We're really pleased with the content that we provide there and hope that you take a look at plus.google.com/plusGoogleAnalytics. We also have a Twitter site at twitter.com/GoogleAnalytics. We update there frequently, so if you're someone who enjoys Twitter and wants to get that update through your stream, we'll definitely post the best of analytics from the web to twitter.com. YouTube, all of our videos. We love it when you click on our videos too. And so youtube.com/user/Google Analytics, you can find the latest from us, telling you how to use the product, giving you quick tips specifically for your industry. And one piece we're really proud about is the Analytics Academy. The Analytics Academy is where you can get certified for Google Analytics, and people can recognize that you're the person who's the best go-to expert within your company when it comes to analytics. Analytics is a growing business for data analysts and digital analytics throughout the industry. So it's not just an analytics industry, it's an analytics function within every single company. And they're all using GA to try and learn the most about their business. So the Analytics Academy is where you can come in and take courses in your own free time from anywhere you have a web connection and learn more about GA. We're really excited about that. You can find it at analyticsacademy.withgoogle.com. And our Google Analytics blog. The Google Analytics blog kind of has the highlights for us. The highlights from our product updates, our customer case studies, and really give you an understanding of what's happening with GA around the year. And so once you're subscribed, you've got your blog, you've got Twitter, you've got your YouTube, you've got your Google+. These can be the information that you can stay up to date on Google Analytics and continue here after the workshop is completed. And for more technical information, if you're a developer or you know people who are, and if they want to tap into our APIs, definitely check out developers.google.com/analytics. And that will help you tie in your product to ours. So you can get the information that comes from your website, flows through GA, and makes your product and your information even smarter. So this has been a quick wrap on goals for Google Analytics. I want to thank you for your time. Definitely want to go straight to the Q&A. Your workshop hosts, if you're putting together some questions, go ahead and submit those to the Google+ community. And any questions that I didn't cover, definitely check out the resources that are within this deck that I mentioned to you. And you can always find me on the web at Louis Gray. Simply Google it. And we'll talk to you later about Google Analytics. Thank you very much.